Welcome to the Health and Fitness Podcast by InnerFight, brought to you in association with Smith Street Paleo. You may notice that I did not introduce the show number. This show has no number. Why, Andre?
This is a bonus show based on some of the news that the CrossFit Games, or not even the CrossFit Games published, but a magazine called Morning Chalk Up, or a newsletter, whatever we want to call it, that kind of does all news regarding to CrossFit. And they have leaked some huge information that we definitely felt like we needed to address, because we have a lot of questions. I know the listeners have a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to try to tell you guys what's going on, what we think about it, and take it from there.
Let's look at the source. So what we saw actually on the 23rd of August, end of last week, was an article on morningchalkup.com. Morningchalkup.com is quite a reputed source of information. They've been around, I don't know how long exactly, but they've been around quite a while. And it's almost CrossFitters outside the CrossFit Journal. It's an independent company that is almost a go-to information source for CrossFit. So, mate, out the blocks, let's establish, do we trust Morning Chalk Up?
I would, since they're using actual quotations from Greg Glassman. Right. So, I mean, unless they're making those up, that would be quite savage, and CrossFit would probably have sued them a long time ago.
Yeah.
But so it seems, unfortunately or fortunately, quite legit.
And there's something else which was a few days earlier, which was actually 3 days earlier, is that they released an article saying CrossFit Games layoffs signal big changes to come. This happened on the 20th of August, where CrossFit announced that they were essentially, you can go through and read the article, morningchalkup.com. However, they announced that they're basically axing half of their media team, as it is one of the biggest costs to the brand of CrossFit.
Yeah, media team taking care of the CrossFit Games, the event.
CrossFit Games. So what, we're looking at the source. It's interesting that what's happened here, but the news that we're bringing you, if you haven't heard it, is that there will be a restructure of the CrossFit Games from the 2019 season onwards. One of the main changes is that CrossFit will take the best, fittest male and female in each country that there is an affiliate. So it will no longer be done on regional levels. So regional competitions are scrapped.
Yeah, regionals are out and invitationals are out. So if you don't know what an invitational is that national where the Team USA versus Team Europe, etc.
That was a waste of time anyway. That was kind of extra. Yeah,
that was just an extra event. It was fun to watch, but that probably didn't generate much attention or money.
So those people that are aspiring regional athletes, or a regional athlete, Andre, have now only open to qualify for the CrossFit Games.
And they are going to try to arrange 16 separate held events where the winner from each competition also can earn a game spot. Right. How that exactly will work, we don't know. They will try to contact some of the bigger events, such as Dubai Fitness Championships and Wodapalooza, and those really well-established competition, and kind of try to work with them. And those competition would pay CrossFit a fee for CrossFit to bring in their medical staff and potentially the judges, and essentially just making a CrossFit affiliated competition.
What it sees, though, mate, is it still sees the CrossFit Games as the annual event and as CrossFit would say, testing ground to get the fittest on earth.
Yep.
So we're still going to have a CrossFit Games.
Same time in August.
In August in the States. And to all intents and purposes, this now we can break out a little bit into individual opinions, but it's my opinion that we will still see the fittest man in the world wins the CrossFit Games.
Of course.
That's what'll happen, right?
I definitely think so. I mean, my biggest concern is that these 16 sanctioned CrossFit competitions that they're planning to arrange from November to June, where other people will be able to qualify for the games, are going to be hard to arrange. Because CrossFit is, based on this article, saying that the competitions will pay CrossFit a fee in order to have these competitions.
Right.
What I know from many competitions is that they don't make a lot of money already, and they're super hard to arrange.
Yeah.
So unless you have a big backer or investor behind you, or the sponsors of these competitions are willing to invest a lot more into the competition to make it a CrossFit Games kind of small event, then it's never going to work, because the people arranging it are just, most of the time, normal people, box owners, or just independent people that don't really make any money on these competitions.
Yeah.
And another concern I have is that these 16 sanctioned events, are they still affiliated? If they're affiliated with the CrossFit Games, they must be affiliated with Reebok. Is Reebok now going to be the main sponsor of all of these events? And are Reebok willing to pay all of these competitions more money in order for the competitions to pay CrossFit the fee that they're charging for this competition?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
so
exactly what
Dubai
you mean.
Fitness Championship works with Nike.
Yeah.
Are they going to take Nike out of the picture? Is Reebok going to enter? Is Reebok going to enter and pay just as big as fee as Nike we're supporting with? Plus, is Reebok also going to pay for the affiliation fee that CrossFit is going to now take on?
There's definitely a lot of unknowns there, mate.
Yeah.
But let's. I mean, we can come back to that, because I've actually got some interesting, or what I think are interesting, thoughts with regards to the financial side of it for sponsors and what this move has done. However, if we look at it, what Glassman has said is that his focus is basically on the affiliates. He now has affiliates in around 162 countries, which is more than 15,000 affiliates globally. And he went on to sort of say that basically only 300 to 500 of those affiliates have sent people to the games, whereas there's more than 1,500 affiliates who have shaved, he was quoted as saying, who shaved 100 pounds off a member. I don't know where these stats quite
Okay,
come.
and what I don't understand about this quotation, what does one have to do with the other?
Yeah.
This is where I get confused.
So,
If 300 to 400 gyms have sent, of course, I mean, not any more gyms would be able to send, because only so few athletes are
people
actually going to the games.
well, and that's one thing, that if he now has 160 countries, and what essentially, if we de-Americanize it and try and cut some of the bullshit out here, what Glassman is saying, and he quoted the Brazil competition of regionals cost him $1 million.
Yep.
So what he's saying in simple terms is these nine regional competitions are losing money.
Yep.
They're costing CrossFit money, and they're not developing a wider community. They're developing a top level of elite people, because from those people, only, like, you get 30 males, 30 females at each regional, so you get 270 people. If he can have 250 countries with an affiliate, you're going to get 250 people at the games. So what he's trying to say is that his focus is not just on this top end of CrossFit as it's become as a sport.
Yeah.
He's more focused, and because it's two-edged. He's pulled on the heartstrings there. He said that he's more interested in the fat guy losing weight. He doesn't give a shit about the fat guy losing weight. He gives a shit about the money. He's losing money in CrossFit Games, and he's making shit tons of money in affiliate business. And this is what's not put in this article. This is something that's super important. I own an affiliate, and I pay $3,000 a year to have my affiliate.
And that's the only support you get from CrossFit.
You don't
get any support. You actually just get to have the open here.
I get to have I've got to be less harsh to CrossFit in this, because I get three things. I get to host the Open here and accredit scores.
Yeah.
I also get an annual subscription to the CrossFit Journal, which is worth $100.
Yeah.
And I get to be listed as a CrossFit affiliate on CrossFit.com, and also within that, use CrossFit in my name if I wanted to. So I could be branded CrossFit InnerFight or InnerFight CrossFit DXB. That's our official affiliate. So for $3,000, that's what I get.
And it's more money now, isn't it?
I believe,
I'm pretty sure they're increasing the price. So the newer gyms are paying more, and the OG gyms are paying like maybe $2,000 or something.
Rookie of the Gold Coast still pays $1,000. So what Glassman's done, and this is what I said, I think in simple terms, he's gone, we're CrossFit as a whole. The sport is losing money. It's costing him money. So the affiliate business is essentially is basically balancing the books all round. He sees the future in making more money and spreading the word of fitness to more people is by getting more affiliates. Of course, if he goes from 160 countries and 15,000 affiliates to 25,000 affiliates, he's got 10,000 new affiliates by whatever the fee is now. Just that for doing nothing.
He states in his article that his goal is to have 150,000 affiliates.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous, mate. But if you think about it as well, and I think this is where actually I think that his main motivation, or a lot of the motivation, is purely financial. And it's not sustainable. If you say the CrossFit Games as a business model on its own, regionals loses money, the games, or at best breaks even. A region, if it costs $1 million to put on a region, for sure it loses money.
Yeah.
Like, it just does, because there's not enough revenue.
If we look at it like that, yes. If we look at it a little bit different, the regionals might be losing money, but because we have the regionals, we have such a large participant in the Open.
Yeah.
So this year, 400,000 people did the Open.
Yeah.
That's $8 million US. If there's 9 regionals, and he probably mentioned that South American one to be one of the most expensive of $1 million.
Yeah.
I bet the Open, and this is without counting the judges course, which is another fee, which probably they make just on the Open around $10-11 million.
Yeah.
They have the Open announcements, and that costs them some money, but I bet that since
anyway.
Rogue is showing up with all the equipment,
Yeah.
it's held in an affiliate that probably does it for free. It probably doesn't cost them really much anyways.
Yeah.
So, and at the regionals, what most people don't know is that all the athletes are paying 200 euros. That's about
what it is,
it's 197 euros. So it's
Wow.
about $250 or something like that. I'm not exactly sure about the conversion rate. So every single athlete showing up for that competition is paying that fee, which is quite a big fee for 3 days. And that's, we still have to pay our flights and accommodation, and food, etc.
Yeah.
Everyone at the CrossFit Games, with the except of maybe a handful, and that's pretty much the media team, is volunteers.
Right.
Okay?
So no
almost
cost.
every judge you see except the head judges are volunteers.
Right.
Every medic and all that stuff is volunteers.
They just want to be there.
So what do they pay? They pay for the place.
Yeah.
They pay for the media team. And I think that's pretty much it, because even the people, the stands at regionals, there's often like 10, 15 stands, Reebok and all these protein
brands.
supplements.
Yeah.
They pay a big fee to actually be there.
Yeah.
So even if they break even or lose money, I think what I don't get, the reason why they want to cancel it, I mean, it's also a huge media and marketing event, isn't it? Like, I know big companies have such a big...
I think, mate, I think you're right in that, it's big, but if you look at the media now and the growth of the media, or the growth of the brand of CrossFit, the sport, or the lifestyle of CrossFit, I think they've probably seen it level out a little bit. And so, therefore, like, what can we do to further inject it? Where can we put energy, and where can we apply resources to further?
You think they're seeing plateau?
I would imagine so, mate. Because even though the media is great, like, if you're not involved in CrossFit, you're not going to watch one video. Never mind 100. Like, I like CrossFit. I only watch, and we're a CrossFit affiliate, and I've competed in CrossFit and blah blah blah. I only watch your region.
Yeah. Okay. Like, in that sense.
Yeah. So it's like, all of that money that's put into all the other stuff, and you could say that's great because I'm from your region, so I'm actually supporting your region and stuff like that. But I think that the fan and the following to it is somehow leveled out. If you, and this is where my sort of point comes in, if you're in 160 countries and you're going to be in, if you're going to go from 15,000 affiliates, he's not going to have 150,000, but if you're going to go to 25,000, like something realistic, if you're going to almost double it, then you have a lot more people who you can leverage that content against, and you have a lot more of an audience. What he's saying now, and this is something that is true, because if you look at the figures of the Open and the growth from 2011 to 2018, it slowed down dramatically. We're up almost at 500,000. So
but I mean, it also went up 400%.
It went up like super fast.
So
it was like 100,000, 200,000, 350, and like we're at 400. So it's leveling off. One of the things that causes that level off is that CrossFit, everywhere in the world that CrossFit currently is, people are promoting the Open, people are doing the Open.
Yeah.
To get more people into the Open, you need more affiliates.
Yeah.
You need to be in more places.
Yeah.
So that's where actually like him saying we're going to focus on growing the affiliate business actually makes sense for the overall growth of the thing.
But here's my question. How do you grow the sport more without having as much attention through regionals and stuff like that? What I mean is that, you mean, if we have a great story with Mohammed Al-Qasmi, our client here, who lost 220 pounds.
Yeah.
They made a documentary about him and put it on the internet, and it has a crap ton of views.
Yes.
And it inspires a lot of people.
Yeah.
If we take that video and compare it with a 2-minute video of Matt Fraser working out, I'm almost sure that the numbers of those two videos will be dramatically different. And I mean, the Matt Fraser video will have a lot more views.
Why?
Because I think people are inspired by the top. I think, like any other sport, tennis. Why is tennis growing for kids, etc.? Because they see the best.
Yeah.
We want to see the best. When we watch soccer, you don't watch third division soccer from the UK. You watch Champions League and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's the same with CrossFit.
But you're still going to get the Champions League.
Of course.
Because that's CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
And you've got the potential.
But it's only one event a year. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of marketing for them.
But it's only ever been one event a year.
But if there's regionals as well, it's now almost 6-8 weeks a year.
Yeah, but if regionals is replaced with 16 competitions around the world,
but that will never work. I can't believe that can work. I just can't see it.
Mate, I don't know what the answer is, but I can see how it, like, they've only removed one event. Now, if you look at, this is quite an interesting topic you've brought up there as well. If you look at the amount of hits a Matt Fraser 2-minute video compared to Mohammed Al-Qasmi, lost 100 kilos and it was like a 15-minute documentary, blah, blah, blah. I think you're right, mate, is that there could potentially be more hits on Matt Fraser's. However, what's the population that's looking at that? I think Mo's story has not the same audience, but has a huge audience that's just further down the fitness food chain. What I mean by that is someone looks at Mo, who's for example, a 20-kilo overweight. Let's call him a father of two. Let's put him in that that category. He looks at it and goes, holy shit, if that guy can do it, I can do it. He looks at Matt Fraser and goes, oh my God. Like, do you think, you look at, let's take another sport, look at cycling or look at golf. Like, so many people play golf.
Yeah.
So many. Are they really thinking that they can be a Tiger Woods? No.
But they get inspired to start because they see something that they want to be. I
agree, mate. But they also get inspired to start by, for example, if you started golf, we're two fat old guys, which we won't be one day, but let's say we are going to be one day. You start golf and you go from being an absolute hacker, and I come across you in 6 months and you're playing off single figures.
Yeah.
You've inspired me. You've just downright pissed me off because I'm like, gee, we grew up together and now this guy is crushing it in golf. I want to play. Of course, I'm inspired by Tiger Woods, or used to be. He's the cream, but my relatability is also with you. So I think there's two types. Like, it's a great point, mate. Matt Fraser's 2-minute video, 100% gets more hits. Yeah, like it generally does. So it is interesting, mate. And I think Glassman's argument seems to be based on. Let's take our argument here on the Mohammed Al-Qasmis. Yeah. And your argument, which is right, which for me has always been right, is that I want to look at the guys at the top. Yeah. But you've also, and this is the thing, mate.
It's a hard one. Like,
and
it really depends on where you come from as well. Like, I come from Denmark. Yeah. It's one of the most dominant CrossFit places in the world in the sense of, like, number of members per people in the country.
There's a lot of people doing
it. Like, just in our capital city, which is only 1 million people, there's probably, like, 30,000 doing CrossFit, which is huge. There's a CrossFit box within 6 minutes in the whole city.
Everywhere.
And I've never seen anybody more than 15 kilos overweight.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I've coached there for 2 years. I've been in the fitness industry. I have never seen them, and they don't hide at home. They barely exist. So for us,
it's like weird.
We can if we see a story of somebody losing a lot of weight,
there's no relationship.
We can't even understand how you can get to that stage first. Yeah. So we can only, I mean, it's maybe hard for me to say that all of us are saying the same, but I personally, and I know for many, we're always inspired by the top.
Yeah.
Even if we know we can't reach the top.
Yeah.
Like, my dad still likes to watch the CrossFit Games and think Brent Fikowski's a legend.
Yeah.
He knows he's never going to be Brent Fikowski,
Yeah,
nor
for sure.
snatch more than 80 kilos.
But he's still going to be able to watch Brent Fikowski unless
And he
Patrick
wants-
Vellner kicks his ass. That's
And-
going to be the sad thing.
Yeah, so, but let's jump a little bit back to,
Yeah.
okay, Greg Glassman has this plan. He wants to expand to 150,000 affiliates. He has 15,000 right now, and he says he wants to help them grow, but how does he do that? How will they expand even more? Will they, I mean, the only way I can see is cut the affiliate fee.
I mean, yeah.
People will open every day.
I think they do have to make it. I think you're at a point now where, you know, if the only reason, and quote me, I'm saying it for the second time, the only reason I pay an affiliate fee is so that I can host the Open for our members. We have 100 members a year, and like you say, we want to see Fikowski, we want to see Fraser, but for a lot of people, the Open is such an awesome goal. And
Yeah.
that's, if they'd have scrapped the Open, I'd have been pissed.
Yeah.
The fact that they've taken out the middle step actually doesn't bother me at all. I think it's not, if it's financial, if it's not, whatever, I don't really have a massive opinion on it. I think it's a shame for a small percentage of people, which you fall into,
Yeah.
but the fact is the masses are still going to get to compete in the Open, and the best are still going to be at the Games. Like, that's...
I wonder if they will. This is one of my concerns.
will, mate.
I wonder if
They will.
a lot of the people from the bubble, only one person will make it.
Yeah.
So in
So be the
America,
best. Yeah, that's,
like, you know what I
that's
mean?
gonna be
Okay,
interesting.
so they have whatever 200,000 people participating in the Open, and let's just take the top 50 guys from the Open in the States. They're all extremely good.
Yeah.
They know, most of them. I mean, you can always try, and I think you should try, and there's never giving up, and everyone can be beaten. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the Open is 5 weeks that can upset your training. It's hard for them mentally, etc., etc. If you don't think you have a chance, well, let's cut the crap. Like, then you probably won't. Then you can participate in the sanctioned events.
Yeah. That's another
And that's
option.
a lot easier. But what are they going to tell the winner of the Open in the States, for example? Oh, no, you can't participate in those events, by the way. And
I
what
mean,
if there's
yeah.
money on the line? How do these people get paid? What I just want CrossFit to come out with a full statement of this is the plan.
We should probably, we're 20 minutes in, we should probably say that. We started off talking about Morning Chalk Up as the source of the information of what we're talking about. Strangely, and this is what we do find very strange, and I think a lot of people will find it strange, CrossFit have released nothing, neither on CrossFit.com, their website, which has been running since they started around 2000 or if not a bit before, or on the CrossFit Games website, games.crossfit.com, which was established in 2011, the first year of the Open.
Yeah.
They have released nothing on any of their channels. They've let Morning Chalk Up deliver the news, which is quite interesting. So although we know few things that regionals is going, the invitational is going, we know the Open will still be there, we are not sure, and we can't speak right now, that's why, like Andre was saying, he's just not really sure how it's going to come around, of actually, if there are these sanctioned events, how they're going to work. And I don't think CrossFit is. I don't think it's 100% nailed in at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you, just to go back, you said, like, how does the affiliate business grow? Like, why should someone come into it? As I said, if it wasn't for me hosting the Open for all of our members and giving them that highlight of the year, I would not pay $3,000. I would rather take that $3,000 and give it to our Interstar Foundation. Like, I really would. So there has to be, your point is right, is why should you in Denmark or in any country that you live in, or let's take a country that doesn't have a CrossFit affiliate, like there's a lot of countries in Africa that don't, why would you open a CrossFit affiliate?
Knowing that CrossFit is actually a hard business to run.
Yes.
Because compared to the other fitness companies and branches and that kind of style, they can have 1,000, 2,000 members per gym because they expect people not to show up, and they don't.
Yeah.
So they can have a limited amount of equipment because they know that people will not come. They will pay for membership, and that's how they sell their membership for $100.
Yeah.
But the problem with CrossFit is that you have a member that pays membership.
They come
every day, and you can only fit so many people in the classes, right?
I think that's going to be a massive challenge, mate. Like,
So that's
for we saw a massive explosion, and this is going to be almost the litmus test for this. If Glassman's got it right, or if CrossFit have got it right, I'm sure it's not him on his own. He's been known to do some pretty crazy things, but I'm sure he's got a team around him that have made this decision, and they're just going to have to go out and sell it. One of the other things, jumping on the financial side, on the commercial side, is that if you have a CrossFit affiliate, you need to have, or to get a CrossFit affiliate, you have to be a level 1 coach, $1,000. So
renewed every 4th year?
Renewed every 5th year. There's also all the specialty courses. Like CrossFit at the moment, you can go on their site and you can see how many courses they're running every weekend. Massive revenue. So that's how CrossFit really make money. So that, in principle, it kind of makes sense that there's a lot more money in growing his affiliate business. Let's talk a little bit about the commercial partners, mate. You were talking there on the competitions about companies like Reebok. Now, It's my opinion that at the moment, Reebok's business is also slightly leveled off. Yeah. And not only Reebok, like if you look at the grip business, like jaw grips, the ropes, once CrossFit was growing, everyone needs them. Like I've seen it. When a new member comes in, they need a pair of grips. Yeah. But they only need a pair of grips every 6 months. When they're new, they buy multiple pairs of Metcons or whatever it is. But then it sort of slows down. So I actually think that if they can somehow increase the number of people participating in CrossFit by increasing the number of affiliates, all of the brands that are involved in CrossFit are going to win because more people are going to be, there's going to be more demand on those goods. Yeah. So then Reebok might actually be in a position to, it was one of your questions, like, is Reebok going to be involved or not? In Dubai Fitness, what if they have a deal with Nike? What's Nike's move going to be? Yeah. Because if there's 1 million people that do CrossFit at the moment, that's only 1 million pair of shoes. Although every CrossFitter has 4 or 5, it's 5 million pairs of shoes. If you look to Nike or Reebok, if you look on their mainline business, or you look on a Nike, like the Nike football line, they'll probably sell over 1 million pairs of one single style per season. Yeah. And they have 3 seasons a year. Yeah. So I actually think that there'd be quite a bit of support for this from the brand side as well. All those brands that, like you said, they want to be at regionals, and they pretty much pay, like they'll pay a lot of dollars for that stand at regionals. Yeah. And then there's sort of maybe, from what I've seen at different regionals or what I've seen when I've been twice to the games, only a few brands are there 2 years in a row. Yeah. A new brand has come in. And we've seen it like we've been selling jaw grips for 2 years. But in that time, I've seen people come in with about 4 new brands of hand protection guards. So I think the commercial side as well is something that has a potential to be a lot more lucrative for the brands. So they might be pretty happy about it, some of these brands. So
my question to you is, how do you bring more awareness to the sport in areas where there is not a lot of awareness? Like, the level 1 and all those seminars are good, but you're required to have a gym to host it in. Yeah. If you go to Pakistan, there's one gym in the whole country. Yeah. How will they grow CrossFit in Pakistan, for example? I think that, mate, I don't actually have an answer for that. I think, like we said before, it has to be somehow attractive for people to start. Yeah. Will CrossFit potentially do some kind of... I can't see it. It doesn't feel like it's in their DNA to go to an underdeveloped country and say, here's a $10,000 sponsorship package from CrossFit and Rogue. Start your gym. All you have to do, Andre, you live in Outer Mongolia or wherever that is. I know there's not a lot of money there. I know that with our help, you can get started. So here's an equipment package for $10,000. They partner with Rogue, and then they make a beautiful story. That, to me, seems not in CrossFit's DNA, but otherwise, like you say, mate, in that country, you can't afford to get a lease. You can't afford the equipment. So how are you going to grow? It's all very good saying we're going to go to all these countries, but there's a pretty good chance that every single country where there's someone who thinks there's enough disposable income to get at the races with a CrossFit affiliate is already there. Yeah. Like, you've got them everywhere. Look at our region. You've got them in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait. Like, Asia is still pretty untouched, I would say. It's a big place. Like,
it is a little bit. I mean, but if you look at all of the countries that I can think of in Asia, starting from sort of India, Pakistan, yes, Sri Lanka, yes, moving into Hong Kong, a few. Singapore, they've got a few. Malaysia, a few. Japan, yes. I mean, we did regionals in a gym in Okinawa in Japan in 2011. Like, they've been that's actually called Reebok CrossFit Asia. That was before CrossFit got a little bit protective about what they called things. So it might be the fact that they want to grow affiliates within. They might say, okay, Dubai. At one stage, Dubai had 16 affiliates.
Yeah.
I think it now has 6. So yeah.
Let's jump a little bit back into the changes.
Yeah.
Because there's some drastic changes that we haven't mentioned yet.
Right.
The CrossFit Open will, from year 2020, be removed from the beginning of the year. So usually every year from 1st of March or 27th of February until the 30th of March, so a 5-week period, we have the CrossFit Open. Next year, 2019, we will have, of what Morning Chalk Up states, the CrossFit Open in that phase, but also the new CrossFit Open, which is in the end of the year by October.
Yep.
So from 2020, we will remove the CrossFit Open from the beginning of the year and only have the one in the end of the year. For next year, we'll have 2 CrossFit Opens.
One in Feb, one in October.
Yeah, exactly how it's going to flow, we're not sure. But the fittest man and woman and team from each country, the 162 countries, will have a person, a female, a male, and a team going to the CrossFit Games.
Right.
That means, our example, Pakistan has one team, or has one gym.
Yeah.
They will need to send one male, one female, and one team, regardless. So it's a little bit like the Olympic Games, right?
And if you think about that, just hopping quickly back to what the topic we spoke about before, if they do that, what are the chances of an increased attention and therefore demand of CrossFit gyms in the country of Pakistan? One guy from Pakistan in 2019 or 2020 is going to go, and he's basically, like you said, mate, it's like the Olympics. He's going to represent his country. He's going to be a hero in his country.
He's going to walk in with his flag, because they started that this year.
They started that this year. He's going to walk in with his flag, and he's going to be at the CrossFit Games. Where he's going to come, I don't know if he's going to beat Matt Fraser. I'm not sure. Where he's going to come is irrelevant. You look at some of the biggest stories in the Olympics, and it's the struggle to get there, not always the performance when they're there, that has the biggest impact on that country. So that could be one of the tools that Glassman maybe thinks that is just going to play into his hand, basically.
Yeah.
That by giving these guys, by now bringing 300 people to the games from all these countries, it's naturally going to force it up.
That is quite an interesting point that I didn't think of. Then another logistic problem kind of happens.
Yeah.
You want to expand to all the countries. Let's say we end up having even more than 162 countries.
Yeah.
How are you going to arrange the CrossFit Games? You have 162 males. Is that going to be like 8 heats?
Yeah.
What are they going to do with a long event?
It's going to be wild.
One event per day.
Yeah. Who knows, mate? I mean, they might, but if you think about it as well, and could this be the way that CrossFit's going more down the Olympic side? You look at the 100 meters. How many heats do they have? Now, I understand that you can't have a load of heats for each event, but if you don't make it past the first heat, you go to the Olympics and you don't make it past. So rather than what we have at the moment, which I don't think even this year they had it. I think they stopped it a couple of years ago, where they basically create a final in the CrossFit Games where they sort of next people at a certain level.
They're doing certain events, like they had the clean and jerk speed ladder, and you're basically cut from your heat.
You're cut from your heat. But in the last couple of years, it's been a lot more inclusive. I know when I was there in 2013 and 2014, like the last day, people were cut.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more brutal. That could be something that came in, which isn't, let's go to golf. You missed the cut. You missed the cut. You qualified for the competition. You went out. You played like a moron, and you're out. And that could happen. But I think the impact back home is on the fact that you made it.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was super proud that you made it to regionals. You know, we spoke about how you thought you did, and if you're happy and weren't you happy. But people were proud of you from this gym, from InnerFight, because you made it to regionals. You made it to that level. So that could be the same if we take our Pakistani example there.
Yeah.
it's interesting as well, mate. If we look at the structure, is that CrossFit will outsource broadcasting to another partner.
That I want to discuss because that can be super risky, can't it? CrossFit, I know from the CrossFit Level 1, the staff, they need to use the exact words of the handbook during the whole presentation. Yeah. It's very, they're trying to control the brand and the message, of course, as most brands are, and that's a struggle. Yeah. You want the same service in everything you do and the same message. Yeah. With outsourcing broadcasting, and that's media team as well, how do you deliver that story and that message you want to deliver?
Mate, let's look at this. Let's look at the Olympic example. Yeah. You have the Olympic Committee who essentially they decide the events. They decide the standards of the event. Yeah. And they decide all of that. Everything else in the Olympics is outsourced. Okay. Hey, Japan, you want to host it? Send us your proposal and how much money you're going to pay. That's what they do. Okay. They then go to the TV and they say, or it might be under Japan's remit to sell the TV rights. So what they're doing here is completely normal in sport. Okay. Sport governing bodies don't... The sports governing body is strong at governing the sport. Yeah. They're not a media company. Yeah. CrossFit has become a very strong media company. Like, we look at their media and we're like, shit, these guys do a great job. They need to, right? They need to. But an event company could come in and go, yeah, we know how to make money. Or we'll have a look at it and then we go, oh, no. Same with a media company. They're like, okay, where can we sell this? CrossFit as a media team have been trying to sell the rights to the CrossFit Games to get it broadcast on TV for about the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah. No one's interested. It went on ESPN. Like, it got on ESPN, but then this year you watch the CrossFit Games through Facebook. Like, they couldn't even, they must have had a licensing issue with YouTube.
I was thinking maybe Facebook was offering them a bigger
maybe
deal
Facebook
or something.
Was offering a deal or something. But there's commercial deals to be had. So you're right in that they're going to want it presented in the right way. But it's the same as a commentator on a football match, on a Champions League soccer game. They want to keep that contract, so they're talking about football in the right way and in the way that UEFA or FIFA or whoever owns that match is talking. So actually, it's a surprise within CrossFit because CrossFit has wanted to own everything. They've wanted to own the competitions. What's the sports marketing company that does CrossFit Games? CrossFit. No one knows. What's the sports marketing company that does the Olympics? Like, there's all sorts of different ones out there. People know who they are.
That's a good point.
So that's why when I look at a broader picture, it's not unusual what's happened. It's just unusual for CrossFit.
Yeah, and it's an unusual way of delivering it.
And it's and this is probably a really good way to sort of wrap it up. It's a super unusual way to deliver it. If the IOC make a change to their sport, if the UCI make a change to their sport, they put it out on their channels. CrossFit's gone and done this through a third-party newsletter. Very strange.
Some final things. If they can get these 16 sanctioned events to work, I think this can be an amazing move for the athletes, especially, and for the fans. Yeah. There will be 16 events where the best of the best can go compete. It's great for the athletes sponsor-wise because they have more. We're basically paid by sponsors the more attendance at bigger competitions you go. Yeah. If you don't qualify for the regionals games, you can forget about bigger contracts. It just won't happen. Now, if there are 16 opportunities and you can have a long season, just like in UFC and a lot of other sports, then there's a bigger opportunity for athletes to become full-time if the sport to grow even further.
Absolutely.
I think with everything we've gotten to know through this article is that don't make any drastic conclusions. Yep. Relax, calm down. Yeah. If you're a regionals bubble athlete and you still dream about regional, or you're just still a massive fan of watching it, there will be other opportunities. Yep. And if CrossFit will not take them, I am sure that other brands such as OPEX will open the door. Yep. And for example, OPEX is running the national functional fitness competition. Absolutely. Where they're competing country. Yeah. And they are trying to get into Olympic committee and trying to grow the sport. So there will be opportunities. So don't.
I think that's something great as well, mate. Like, if you look at, and we could talk about this forever, but just to on that point is like, if you get to the Open and you get injured, if you think you're a regionals athlete or you are a regional athlete, you get to the Open, you get injured. the whole year's gone.
Done.
If you have these sanctioned events, no matter how good they are, no matter who sponsors them, but you're now going to have more chances to qualify for the games. You're going to have more chances to test your fitness. You're going to have 2 or 3 times a year where you could target competitions. Hello, this is normal sport.
Yeah.
This is how sport is. This is how professional sport is. So actually, like you say, it's not... Okay, it's sad that those guys in that regionals, like you call it regionals bubble, that, you know, regionals is their life. They know they're not going to get to the games, but they train the whole year for that. No worries. You guys have got chances to compete. We've got competitions coming up. There's in Kuwait, there's Battle of the East. We've got competition here. We've got all these competitions within our region. Yeah. Never mind CrossFit sanctioned competitions, which we should see in 2019. So I think you're right. I think, you know, relax, stop doing what you're doing. Just chill.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be great opportunities to test your fitness and still work out in the sport of fitness or CrossFit.
One door closes, 2 doors open. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So stay calm and we are excited for CrossFit HQ to come out with some official news because everything we've just said, we assume that it's right because a lot of the things that are in the article is official statements from Greg Glassman.
Yeah.
But let's wait and see until we have some official CrossFit news.
There you go, folks. Share with us your thoughts. Put them on Instagram. Put them in the comments section of this podcast. You can actually do that. You can go and review the podcast with your comments. Send us an email, winning@innerfight.com. We want to know what you think about it. And as soon as we get all of the changes confirmed in full, final, and the proper way from CrossFit, maybe we'll do another show and maybe direct you as to who you think you are and where you should be going with your fitness. But I think at this time, you should still be training hard for the Open and hopefully looking forward to more affiliates and more CrossFit competitions around the year.
Boom.
There we go. Thanks a lot for listening.